Hello, traders. This is MDB Modified Darvas Box coming at you here on Saturday, October 26th. Can you believe that the year is gone by so fast? It's amazing. I can't believe that we're on the verge of Thanksgiving and then into Christmas, etc. But anyways, here with another weekend review. It is 10:12 a.m. 10:13 a.m. on Saturday morning. Hope you guys had a good week, and let's get into the charts here. Before I do, for anyone who's never seen one of my videos, I'm an independent trader investor. I developed my own unique trading system for trading the markets, and it's all based on the book How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market and other concepts like from the strategies, etc. I use colors to identify market signals and also box ranges. And basically, we're doing interpretation of the charts in order to figure out what are we supposed to do. Are we supposed to be buying or selling? What is a valid signal and what is just fluff? And you'd be amazed, most traders really have no idea what a valid trading signal is. But that's why you might be here, and I will show you. Because there's actually only a few valid trading signals. Go figure, right? But anyways, if you can interpret market charts correctly, you can do well and make a lot of money, and that's a good thing. So I have stocks on 6 different lists. We're going to look at lists 1 through 4. We're looking specifically at signals or things that are going on, eye-opening things like big volume or other things. And that's what I do. It doesn't take me very long to go through all my charts, and I enjoy doing these videos and talking to you all. What we're seeing in the market is an increase in volatility, which makes sense because we have an election coming up. And also, in a different post I did on Twitter, corporate profitability, earnings per share growth forecasts. Well, they're getting stronger, but how much are investors paying for that stream of income? Well, they're paying through the nose, in my opinion. The market is priced for perfection. So that means if things go right, yeah, things continue. If things go wrong, we may be looking at and buckle your seatbelts real fast. So, but we'll see some of these changes. We've gone from just incredible bull to now maybe things are changing a little bit, but you'll see here in a second. So let's get into it. First thing I look at are indexes, and we can see here AMZ. I always start with this one. MLPs, because I own some MLPs that pay me income, either monthly or quarterly. And that's a lovely thing. And look at that, sideways, no signals. ARK is on here because if Cathie Wood is making money, then you should be making tons of money. And look at that, Cathie Wood, ARK has a color signal here. That is a hammer signal. That's bullish. Crazy that Cathie Wood has a bullish signal, but it is what it is. But this is a Darvas box range here. It's been struggling to come out, and that's all I care to know about Cathie Wood. The other reason I keep this chart around, and people have complained, but it's simply because it's got a great potpourri of colors of my color signals. Yellow bar, very bullish signal. Blue bars, bullish signals. Pink bars, sort of bearish signals. Hammers that are orange, and inverse hammers that are bearish. But the whole thing about trading signals is that you see the signal and then you trade the reaction to the signal. That's the whole point. You don't need to be Johnny on the spot. The moment a signal occurs, you got to be buying, selling. No, you can wait and see how things develop. And that's what makes my style of trading appealing, is that you can do all your analysis on the weekend. You can do all your analysis at night. To be honest, you don't even need to be looking at price quotes during the day. All the quote traders on FinTwit, who are trading intraday or day trading, whatever. Man, that's such a stressful way of doing it. But it is what it is. To each his own. Uh, so you trade the reaction and, and that's how you go. This is a bullish signal right here. So just draw a line. There's your trigger. Easy peasy. So you give the market time to react, and hopefully it reacts in the way you think it's going to react, and then you can act appropriately. BZJ, proxy for oil. Honestly, down, but sideways. Not much going on in oil, but maybe there's some volatility out of the Middle East. I don't know. Who the hell knows? Oil is its own set of headaches. But here's the real one people want to know. The NASDAQ composite. So, isn't this interesting? Look how it stair steps up. Great trend. Goes sideways in a box range, no big deal. You stay long the trend. Maybe you use this weekly trend line to stay long. Keeps going, but then here you get a valid signal. That's inverse hammer. It's also called a shooter bar. Yeah, you sell. Look at that. Dump, dump, dump. Goes down and now sideways. But now we get a yellow bar buy signal. Market start, okay, time to get back in from here to here. Starts grinding upwards. Oh no, it's volatile. But what does it do? It forms a bullish hammer signal. Triggers higher. Does it go up? Well, no, it gets volatile again. Forms another bullish hammer. And now what's interesting, if we zoom in, it's done a blue bar here. Now volume is looking good, but man, this is struggling. And it's struggling, of course, at the prior highs. So while it's bullish because it's broken out of this box, this volatility, yeah, it's definitely messing with traders' minds. But the net result is it's still bullish, and but it didn't quite trigger. It triggered, but then it didn't stick. So, but overall, it's bullish. But again, we need to see the reaction to this, and it's probably getting, it's probably acting like this because we got a big election coming up. Duh, that makes sense to me, for lack of any other reason. So, but it's interesting to see how it's struggling at those recent highs. Crypto, Ethereum, yeah. Are you really bullish on this? Come on, stop. That's bearish. It all changed right here with this big volume. Ignore. FFTY, proxy for growth. Sort of up, but kind of reflects the NASDAQ. Up, but nothing really crazy. China. How many of you fell hook, line, and sinker for David Tepper's CNBC where he said, bet the ranch on China? Well, here's the thing. Bet the ranch, bet the ranch. Sell the ranch, sell all the ranches. And look at that. Ever since there, done nothing. I avoid China, but, use volume to tell you what the hell is going on. Looks great, looks great. Oh shit. And ever since then, this bar here, if you're long Chinese stuff right now, thinking that it's a brand new bull market and David Tepper, he's a famous hedge fund manager and he's made a shit ton of money, but the dude is just wrong. So, and the charts say it. Now, maybe in these future weeks it starts moving again, but this right here, if you have any interpretation skills whatsoever, this should tell you, whoa, hit the brakes. Maybe you need to do a little more research. Gold keeps going up, and look at that, a bullish hammer. It's crazy that there's a bullish hammer after, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 weeks of uptrend, and now it's a bullish hammer? Jesus. But all these dollars going into gold, that's basically a vote of no confidence on what's going on economically. Or fear. People are frightened and they're buying gold. But either way, it's going up. High yield bonds, starting to go down a little bit. Signal here, it triggered up, but then boop, gave up the ghost. And let's say you bought that signal. Well, you should have stops or alerts here to tell you if something's going wrong. I don't stick around if something goes wrong. And I usually have lots of text message alerts there. So, yeah, if something goes wrong, get out. Don't lose money. For God's sakes, don't lose money. And if you really want to go to hell, I'll invite you to my trust lawsuits within the family. But that's a whole nother story. Okay. Oh, yeah, the insurance index. Bullish signal. Overall trend is up. Yeah, we put some of this in the family trust, which I manage. Not the one that's mismanaged, but yeah, a little volatile of a week. Look at that. Came right back down. So this is what I mean by how the bull market is changing a little bit. It was kind of a rough week here. But volume was low, so not really all that worried about it. Bitcoin moving up, but then what does it do? It sells down and forms a gray. This gray, that's an inside bar. So an inside week. What's it going to do? Inside weeks are 50-50. How do you trade this? Well, if it goes up, you buy it. If it goes down, you sell it. Duh. So isn't that interesting? You had all these bulls, and now what do the bears do? They say, thank you very much for putting it up. I am going to sell it. So now you're put, as an investor, as a trader, you don't know what to do. So the market's telling you, you got a 50-50 signal. And whichever way it resumes is the way it should go. So don't overthink it. Is Bitcoin going to 1 million? Who the hell knows? How can you determine that when the market is telling you that it's 50-50 right now, whether up or down? So software moving up. Bull signal here. Breakout, moving higher. Not the easiest trend, but it's upwards. Housing, ITB. This was a tough week. Well, it makes sense, right? Interest rates came down a little bit. Did everybody rush to buy a house? No. And I think interest rates for mortgages have gone back up. So who's buying houses? Well, the environment is still tough. So that's a tough week, and because there's volume. Now, is this time to draw a Darvas box? No, because the way I will draw them is highest prices. High, 1, 2, high, 1, high, 1, 2, high. It keeps going higher. But this might be a high right there, but who knows where the low is. So it's not ready for drawing of a box range. Microcaps sideways. All excited, and look how it sold off. IWM, bull, breakout. IWM, the greatest thing ever. Whoops, belly flop, back into the range. The saving grace here is volume was low. Healthcare, IYH. We had this at Family Trust. I actually sold this. Because look at that. That is a Darvas box breakdown. Health insurance may be a little tougher than other types of insurance. Our car insurance sure went up. Transports. We knew from last week's video that this year was a bearish shooter bar. So it wanted to break out, and the powers that be said, nah, not quite yet. It's not ready yet. And then what did it do? It sold down. That's a valid signal to sell, and now the market followed through. Sell. See, this is how it works. Signals and reactions. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just pay attention. Equal weighted information on the NASDAQ. Well, look, that's a breakout. Yeah, maybe not. Comes back down into the box range. So we may still have a bullish market, but tech isn't doing as good as other areas. Isn't that interesting? Gold again. Oh, yeah, that's just gold again. I sold this stupidly here. It's all right. I'll live. QQQs trying to break out. It's still bullish, just not ripping like everybody wants it to. Bull signal here. Up, grind. Now we got a blue bar. That's a bullish signal, but many times there's a tendency for it to sell off the next week before going. So we'll keep an eye on this. But again, struggling at prior highs. That's how you interpret that. Struggling at prior highs. Meanwhile, RSP, equal weighted S&P 500, it was doing 10 times better than the QQQs, but again, a tough week right here. But volume was low, so not real concerned with that. Short-term bond rates starting to go, actually formed a valid Darvas box sideways. But this looks kind of like it may sell down and short-term rates go higher. But I don't know. We'll see. Semiconductors, pink bar warning signal right here. And look at the net result. An inside week. So it hasn't resolved. The investor community hasn't figured out what they want to do with semiconductors. So it goes to 50-50. Dude, I'm not sure. And we'll see how it resolves this next week. Up or down. I don't know. But this here, pink, is a warning signal to sit up and pay attention. Pay attention. Change might be on the horizon, or it's big investors saying we're debating making a change, but we're not sure yet. But either way, that's a signal to pay attention. S&P 500 moving higher, but we saw in the RSP, again, a tough week, but this closed up a little better than RSP. SPY's doing the same thing. And sentiment. This is a sentiment. Look at that. Sentiment took a real nosedive here. People are probably scared of the election or scared of something. I don't know. But look at that. It was up here. Now it took a big nosedive down. We'll see. Sentiment came down here. Oh, look at that. Stocks above the 40-day. There was some real selling going on this week. Number of stocks above the 40-day, 62%. Now at 43%. That's a pretty big swing. Pay attention. Market dynamics are changing. Like I said, got to be careful. The tan, valid box breakdown. Yeah, messing around here, but who cares? It's such a weak sector. TLTs. You had 2 pink bar warning signals, and now the price keeps going down, which means rates are going up. If you read, Stan Druckenmiller is short treasuries. Like 20% of all his money, he's short treasuries. So Druck here is actually short this, and he's making money here. So pay attention. And the VIX. This is interesting for the election. Inside week here. And notice this weekly trend on the VIX. Things started getting exciting back here. Huge move, came down, but it's been very persistent. Who wants to bet we have some volatile days right after the election? That week is full of chaos. Me, raising my hand, me. This is pointed towards another breakout. What if the VIX has a big sell-off and goes back to 35, 36, whatever? Well, are you prepared for that? Or are you 100%, 200% long? Are you Texas hedged? Texas hedged is when you're long common, long calls, long up the wazoo. So maybe this is telling us we shouldn't be overly leveraged, overly long. And we better be a little more careful. What do you think, huh? Nah, screw it, bet the ranch. Nothing going on there. Home builders again, tough week. And with volume, keep an eye on that. Interesting. Oil and gas, again, XLE. Tried to break out here. Breakout failed. Well, makes sense. Oil and gas is not doing great. So, financials. Box breakout, moving higher. Uh-oh, a little sell-off, but forms an inside week, 50-50. However, it's down by the bottom, so I bet you it probably sells down a little bit. And also, if a breakout's going to fail, it'll fail on week number 4, which is right here. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Clunk. So you see, by interpreting this and understanding this, I already know what to expect. Don't be too bullish. Yeah, things may not go our way this next week. You know. Don't get high on your own supply. Utilities had some volatility here, and now we've got an inside bar 50-50, right? It closed down at the bottom. I don't know, but utilities might be pointed a little lower on the odds. But I don't know, we'll see. Another hot sector that, due to AI, that might be cooling off a little bit. Okay, let's get to list two, moving right along. List two is textbook Darvas box breakouts, those that fit the mold perfectly. AAOI. So this one is still a valid breakout. I sold it this week because this bar right here, basically a 50-50 bar, that's basically telling on volume. That's basically telling us it's gone about as far as it can go. Where the demand, the buying and selling pressure is basically equalized. So if the bulls can't push it any higher, well, time to sell. I don't even need a signal for this. So I sold it, not perfectly, but I sold it, and now it formed an inside bar, and probably it's going to violate that low. And that's also a reason to get out anyways, because if it does violate that low, that's a valid trigger anyways. So I saved myself about $1. And a great trade. Had to do it in a couple times. About 12.50 to 18. That's 5.5, almost 50% gain. Woohoo! Didn't have to work all that hard for it either, though there were a couple of tense moments. But this one here, it'll stay on this chart until the next week. This one, lovely. Some stocks are still total bulls. Look at that. Breakout. Up, 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 up. Who wishes they bought that? I do. Did I buy it? No. And look, here was your big signal that something good was going to happen right here. Big volume. And in fact, the big volume signal here. Caterpillar. Box breakout here. I sold it here. And look, it went down some. When it hits the lows of a signal bar and goes the other way, that's also a sell signal. So if I hadn't sold it here, I would have been selling it here anyways. But strong start, and now more, maybe a weak finish. This one, CORZ, moving up. Not the easiest hold, but you've made money. I'm interested to see the resolution of this bar right here. But it's positive at the moment. Carvana, breakout, inside. You could have bought it there. Stocks give you multiple signals to get in. If you miss it once, don't worry. It'll give you another signal. Just don't ignore it. And when the signal happens, you got to go for it. Up. Look at that. I did not buy it this time, and I already regret it because it looks great. Hood, box breakout, up, up. Look at that. Looks great. IonQ, I own this one, and that is now doing great. Tony the Tiger, great. Boy, what a sloppy way how it came out. Buy it. No, sell it. How do you think these sellers feel? They feel stupid. It's because they don't know what they're doing. But I had to do it 3 times before I got it to stick. But now that I got it to stick, from here to here, I will take it. And I'm still long this. Looks great. This one, moving up. Don't really know much about it, but box breakout, up, up, up. So you see, there's still bullish. Meta, okay. Still moving higher, but this is losing momentum because we've got two weeks down in a 3 weeks down in a row. 1, 2, 3 off that high. So this is on the verge of forming a Darvas box. We've got a high. Now we got to, in order for me to actually do a box, that low needs to hold. Now next week it might go lower again. So it's not time to draw a box. But until something happens, that'll stay in this list. MicroStrategy, up, up, up. Look at that. Green, green, green. Bitcoin may be sort of, you know, not doing a whole lot, but this sure is. So he's a very interesting guy. It's a whole very interesting. Net breakout, pullback, 2 weeks pullback. Uh-oh. If it's going to fail, week 4, watch out. Oracle, Brock's breakout, up, up, up. So you see these stocks still have breakouts, but now they're hitting volatility. Look at this one, PI. I own this. I didn't sell it, and I got smacked on this, but I'm still long because I'm still positive. Am I happy about this? No. But it is what it is, and we'll see where it goes. And also, why else am I long? Well, we had all great signals until right here, and, there's been nothing contra to make me worried. Now this happened. It's like, all right, well, we'll see. But it did rebound up to here to 200, so still looking good. PLTR, uptrend, looking great. Only thing I pointed out, which everybody poo-pooed, this it's at the prior all-time highs. Sometimes, is that an optimal spot to mortgage your house and bet the ranch? Come on, man, not really, but we'll see what they do. It's only worth $100 billion. I have no position. This little poet I still own, even though it's driving me insane. It's a small position, so I'm just willing to let it hover. But if this fails right here, inside week, well, then I'll be forced to sell it, and I'll probably sell it for no gain and have wasted my time 5 weeks or so. But again, it's not the biggest position, so I'm not worried. Rubric, I bought it here, and I wasn't able to buy a lot, so when it pulled back, I bought it again. I set alerts here. I'm like, well, let's buy it again, and look at my risk. My risk around right here, well, put the stop here. It's only like $1 risk. So yeah, buy more. Now I have a real position in this stock. So now we'll see if it continues higher or what happens. I don't know. Reddit, box breakout, moving higher. This one I own, moving higher. Roku, don't ask me, but it's up. SE, moving higher. So you see there's still a bull market. Elements of the bull are still intact. A tough week here on TKO. Something happened. So you got to be careful. It's not perfect. And this is when everybody wanted to see Tesla. The greatest company ever. Box breakout. Big volume. Though the volume wasn't as big. Volume's not all that big if you compare it to prior history. But it's still a breakout, so congrats, and we'll see what happens. Uber, big move up, and all it's done is pull back, but still okay, nothing wrong there. URI, tough week right here, selling. So you see how the market's changing? Market's changing. Take note. Walmart's still going up. What a company. The Wolf, I own some of this. There was the valid signal right here. Hammer time. Buy it right here and look at it go. Druckenmiller owns some of this also. He does better research than I can, so I'm happy to be partnered with him. Big volume, etc. Looks great. And that's how you find winning stocks. And you see how easy it was? I can't emphasize the word easy enough. When you become a market signals trader, you don't have to keep worrying where's the moving average or this trend line or this thing here or that thing there. Just wait for the signal. All right, I'll stop talking about that because I know 3/4 of you guys are drawing lines. Okay, bullish signals. Still pretty big list, but there are some changes happening. Apple, breakout. Only reason it's on the other list is because volume was low. This one right here, yellow bar buy signal, hammer, resolved higher, that's bullish. A-Lab, inside week, resolved higher. I bought some, and we'll see what happens. It's good. So far, so good. What I like about A-Lab is green volume. The buyers have all really started pouring in. So, you miss some of this move here. The market gives you a chance to get in based on the signal, and you just have to be willing to take the signal. What's funny is I shorted this one earlier this year, and I made some decent money off it. So now let's buy it. Oh, this one, amazing. APP keeps going up. Just amazing. Broadcom, it's losing a little bit of momentum. See, it made the high, now 2 weeks down, but overall it's still okay. However, this is in the box breakout list. This really isn't a breakout, so, I'm sorry, it's the bullish list. 2 weeks down, that's losing momentum. And with no other signals, I'm going to put this back to watching. Berkshire, why do I have this in here? I had it because it was a signal and up, but now it's coming down. I'll give this one more week, and then it'll come off and get moved. Kava still moving higher off of this signal right here. Let's see what happens there. Sell H, bullish signal here, went up. Now it came down. We'll give this another week or two to tell us if this is actually a bottom or if it keeps going down. Coin, bullish signal here, had a weekly pullback here. I'll give this one more week to show it before I remove it from the list. And you see here, volume, green, followed by a big red. MicroStrategy's going up, but maybe not coin. Dash looks great. Up. Deckers, there's a new signal. Bullish. Blue bar, big green volume. Donald J. Trump, our next president. Have you voted yet? I'm going to early vote. Definitely vote early. It helps make it harder for them to rig the voting on election day. So vote early. And look at that, just surging. Look at this volume. I pointed out many weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, how the volume was really taking off here. But there was no real pattern or signals. I mean, this would be hard. You would have had to really trust after this volume that something was going on. And look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Really has. I don't own it, but I'm voting for Donnie. I love Donnie. GE, again, a tough week. What the hell's going on? At the moment, I'm gonna keep this on, actually, whether to keep it on the bull list with the big volume like that, I'm gonna move it back to watching. So you see how the list is getting a little smaller. GEV looks awesome. GM, box breakout, but now a bigger move. Isn't that interesting? General Motors, of all things. Microsoft, yellow bar, buy signal. So there are things going on in the market. There's a signal. We'll see what the reaction is this next week. Micron, it's been moving higher, but it's coming down. There was the big signal. Is there anything really going on in Micron? No. Everybody was all excited over here. That's how you get excited over nothing. Netflix, signal here with a slight pullback, but looks great overall. Now with a big signal right there, that's a bullish signal. Notice it had the pink bar, pay attention, And did it turn into anything bad? No. So now pile back in. NVIDIA, box breakout moving higher, but look at that. There's no volume. Where'd all the big volume buyers go? Race sideways, but up. There's your signal. Boom, boom, going higher. Everybody buy a Ferrari. Moving higher. Shop. Okay, losing momentum. Made the final high here. Close below, close below. We're going to move shop to watching. Square, box breakout. No volume though. Moving up. Now pulled back weak. We'll give it another week or two. Otherwise it'll come off this list. Okay, here's bullish. We had a box breakdown the day before, week before, but volume was light. Now we have a bullish hammer signal. If you like TMDX and want to own it and felt you missed all this move, well, there's your signal right there. If it goes up, buy it. If it stays in the middle of the range or goes down, avoid it. Simple. Just set an alert and let it play out. No need to even watch it. Upstart, box breakout, moving higher, but now an inside bar. It'll be very interesting if it stays here or goes higher. I think it'll probably earnings on November 7th. I think it's probably going to come back and retrace back down here. But most of the time I've commented, I've been wrong on this one, so we'll see what happens. Venom, I own this in my income portfolio, keeps going higher. And I'm amazed that it keeps going higher because of oil prices doing relatively nothing. And ZS, bull signal here, pull back, pull back. That's just lost momentum. So that goes back on the watching list. So you see, watching list is bullish, but smaller. All right, final list, bearish list. And then we'll wrap and be done. Affirm, breakout, failure, see the volume right there? Failure, and now down again. It's just riddled with failure. That's just an avoid. AMD, made a high here, failure, failure, failure. This one has not really a signal, but well, this should go on watching list. ANET, pink bar signal, pay attention. Did it violate the low? No, but it formed an inside bar. We'll see what happens. ARM, hammer time signal right there. Do you think I traded it and shorted it? Hell yeah. I've made more money shorting ARM than I've made as a long. Shorted it here, covered here. Shorted it here, covered here. Shorted it here, covered here. Shorted it here, made a bunch, covered it here. Now, shorting it again. I love shorting this one. So, signal, short, and with the way the market is, I'm happy to add some shorts to balance against my longs. CEG, the hot, red hot utility, well, this is how you define tight when you have two inside weeks in a row. Tight, tight. Is this looking bullish or bearish? I will bet you that this is going to go down like that. But I could be wrong. And the real question is, should we bet against it? Buy puts, short it? Well, we'll see. We'll see. This one is just a terrible stock, but it broke out and now sold back down. In fact, the sellers were thrilled that the bulls put it up because now they could then hit all their sell tickets and clear it out. So this is just a piece of crap. That's how you read volume. Crocs, there's a white bar sell signal, so it makes the list. Pink bar on CVLT, pink bar signal, pay attention, and what does it do? It immediately breaks, fails, and has a box breakdown. ELF, I'm short this one. What does it do? Has it violated this yellow line? No. So I'm just letting it sit and do its thing. There's no signals in here. There's selling. So stay the course, but there's my stop. ENPH, I'm short this one from right there. Oh, look at that. It went down more and nobody on Twitter said a word. Did anybody not take up on shorting it? Well, you missed out. I'm also short for solar, but this isn't doing nearly as well, but it's slowly coming down. I don't know. We'll see what happens this next week. This one right here keeps grinding down. IoT, there's a slight bearish signal inside bar, and it closed it below it. Here's a bearish signal. Yellow bar buy signal, followed by an equal selling. So it's bearish because of that, but it could be bullish. Let's put an alert across the top just in case. This one could go 50-50. Uh-oh. Lockheed. Big pink bar sell signal. After all this lovely uptrend, like I told you, markets are changing. Moderna, look at that. I wish I'd shorted this one. Shorted into the ground. There are shorts out there. There's not a lot, but there are out there. And I use them to balance, to hedge against my longs. So I pretty much run a long-short portfolio. NNE, highly speculative. Biggest volume bar of its lifetime is a negative red bar. I would be very cautious on this. I do not own it. It had signal here, but on this one, you're probably just gambling. Buyer beware. Steel, another thing, this is not good. Big red volume here. Is the economy doing better? Well, maybe not according to steel. Qualcomm, bearish signal here. It didn't really, it triggered, but then sort of rebounded, so that's interesting. Keep an eye on that. I know ARM and Qualcomm are having a legal spat right now. Rivian, yeah, doing nothing. Snow, another one I shorted this week. I have tried Snow. I shorted it here, covered, shorted again here, covered, tried it again here, covered for a loss, bastards. But now, oopsie, but now it gave a signal again. And I'm bearish overall on it for other factors, so signal, let's do it again. The reason why I'm so against Snow, look at this monthly chart. That's getting ready to have a big box breakdown. Red, 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 red. It's at the lows. This here is a hammer signal, but this is basically a failure of that. So it's going to go down, I'm sure of it. And people wonder, am I successful? Yeah, I can see this stuff coming a mile away. Come on. My goal is that you see it too, is that you learn some of these techniques and you can apply it for yourself. The stinger, there's a signal right there, down. Ugh, that's ugly. That's oil transportation. Oil sucks, as we've seen. So, VRT, yellow bar buy signal. Up, 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 up. Uh-oh, pink bars, warning signal. Warning. Like I said, the market got a little tougher. And we're almost done. VST, how many of you guys are long this? Well, that's a negative signal right there. Warning, pay attention, inside, close to the downside. That might be a short right there. Maybe. Problem is you got green, 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 red, and then back to green. So maybe this is just going sideways. One could argue also this is a Darvas box range now, and it's simply going to go sideways instead. So we'll see what happens. All right, last one, Zeta. Signal here, kept going a little bit. 50-50 close roughly, and now down. If there was a time to sell this thing, I would say probably in there. It looks benign on the when like that, but then when you squeeze it out, yeah, time to leave. And that's the whole list. So I hope your heads were nodding on a lot of these chart interpretations. And now let me give you one last bit of value, because with the amount of money I'm charging you to watch this video, oh wait, it's free. I'll just give you the final thing. Latest S&P updates as of October 24th. Market closed here at 58.08, spot 12. 28% reported. We are at a 20% average growth, which is amazing. Growth seems pretty good here, but trailing PEs are still high. I've noted them in red. We've been high now for 1, 2, 3 quarters and projected for 5. If we look at our handy valuation chart, 25 bubble. But the forward PEs are yet to go above 25. So we are right on the edge of fully valued versus crazy. And that's how I interpret where we're at. But so long as the estimates hold up here, we can maintain this value at 58.08. Let's get the S&P 500. We can roughly maintain this, but if the estimates get cut for any reason, we'll be going back down because this is too high. But so far, so good. Until these numbers change, well, put it right in here. Until these numbers change to the downside, hey, we're still bullish. So keep that in mind in your future big picture. All right, well, that's it for the weekend review. Hope you enjoyed it, and have a good week. Talk to you soon.